Hey everybody, it's Barbara, and welcome to my review of the limited edition Barbie collector licensed Hudson Bay Barbie, which is a silver label doll, and a special treat for Canadian collectors because Hudson Bay is a very famous department store up in Canada, sort of along the lines of the American Macy's chain. Similar quality, similar price points. Hudson Bay Barbie was available to American and international buyers through Barbie Collector. In Canada, you could actually walk into Hudson Bay and get her or have her shipped to you, because as a strictly Canadian company, they only ship to Canada. And I think now would be a very nice time to show you, as reproduced on the window cover, the Hudson Bay Company logo, as it is written in both English and French, in keeping with Canada's bilingual status. I believe Hudson Bay Avenue 1670 is the address of the flagship store. Again, not unlike the Macy's Herald Square in New York or Harrods in London. And you can see the outline of the store in the back packaging of the box. And we are going to go ahead right now, speaking of the box, debox the Barbie and talk about her and her very lovely accessories, which include some coffee, a phone, a paper, and this very lovely and very patient little pooch. And here she is out of the box, the lovely Barbie. She's wearing a beanie hat and some glasses and some lovely little gold studs in her ear. And she's wearing an ensemble whose yellow, blue, green, red, yellow, blue stripes are in keeping, I believe, with the traditional colors of Hudson Bay. The coat closes with toggles, which I'm going to try and do right now, which may or may not be the brightest idea I've ever had, but we'll soon see. I think I should have probably tried this when it was off the stand. Oh well. Almost had it. Well, it can close, I'll put it that way. There you go. Maybe? Yes. No. No. It can close. I just don't. And it would close. You see how I'm doing it. You see, you put the loop through. And it could close. But then you would miss this lovely ensemble, which also includes, it appears that this is a bodysuit that is not, as I thought, sleeveless, but does in fact have sleeves. So it's a turtleneck black bodysuit and a matching skirt, pencil knee-length skirt with a faux black belt. Another bit of detailing, if I'll turn her this way, that you can see. The coat has button detailing at the cuff. It also has, she is also, not the coat, but she is wearing a watch, which can slide off the wrist. This is not a doll that has removable hands, but it is a very nice, typical everyday watch. Black band, gold tone, and it does come off, so you will be able to share that with other 1/6 scale females. We keep turning to the back. She's a blonde. And there's a hood to this coat. Oops. There's a hood to this coat, which I will now reveal. Which could, of course, go up and over if you wished it to. It is fur trimmed, and the coat is lined. And if we continue to turn her, you will see on her right hand, she has not followed Mother's rules of take one thing off before you leave the house. She's wearing a lovely gold bracelet, again, that can come off. It's open in the back, so you can just ease it off. I'm not going to do that. And she's got a ring on, which matches the green of the coat. Unfortunately, this is typical Playline Mattel in that the ring does not slip on and off. It is hole in the hand, which means it's really only for Barbie, which is a shame because this is a pretty nice ring. See if I can hold it in such a way that you can see it. It appears to have a green gemstone with pearls on either end of it. Sort of like a class ring, kinda, but not really. You'll see it better when I put it back on her hand. I'll come in closer. The main stone would be a green stone with the pearl trimming set in gold. And we'll turn her back front again. And she has booties without stockings, which I thought was kind of interesting because clearly if she's dressed like this, it's cold out. Why not put her in stockings? And for that matter, why not do something exciting like give her navy tights, which is not something we see, but she is bare-legged. She's in these booties. And these booties will come off very easily because there's a slit in the back that you just pop them off. And that is her. Slowly pan back up. Put her hair back. I'm going to raise the arm up because the other major accessory, such as it is, and dressed accessory, I might add, is, I guess we're going to have to call him Hudson. Hudson the dog, who is wearing a dog sweater very similar to Barbie's coat and a lovely little red leash. I have mixed emotions about dog sweaters on people. On that, and by people, I mean people dogs, real live dogs. I think dogs manage to survive very nicely for years without wearing sweaters. Don't know why we put them on real ones. Certainly don't know why we put them on fake ones. But I digress. You've probably heard me talking many times about when a figure or doll has to hold something, you need a rubber band or tacky tape. Well, Mattel does include the rubber band in this case for the leash to slip on her hand and stay on her hand. So what I'm going to do is just going to very quickly wrap this around her wrist a couple of times. And then the loop will go over her fingers, hopefully. Success. There we go. And that will help it to stay. And then she can, of course, you can now pose her like she's walking her dog. The other accessories are a faux satchel. The top part does open to put stuff in. The inside is not lined. I think you can really see one way or another with the lights, but it's not lined, trust me. This other pocket does not open, so if you're going to put stuff in, we don't go in here. And that stuff would be the Hudson Bay Times, which does have gibberish writing on the front, the back, and the inside. So if you happen to pose her with it this way, you can do that. But again, it's gibberish writing. I mean it this time. It is gibberish. If you've watched other reviews where I've tried to read stuff and I've totally bungled it because I can't read the small print, this is actual gibberish. Of course, the de rigueur smartphone, also in a Hudson Bay style case. This too did originally have a rubber band around it, and the idea being she would either perhaps unwisely have it in her other hand, so she's walking the dog with one hand and holding this with the other. I'm not going to do that because that's just illegal. And we also have a Hudson Bay style licensed coffee mug, which is of course reusable and refillable and therefore very good for the environment. I kind of had hoped that this would have said on it, it's either Tim Horton or Tom Horton. Tim Horton. That this would have said Tim Horton, which is the Canadian version of Starbucks. I thought it would have been cute if they could have done the double license with Hudson Bay and Tim Hortons, but alas. And now, not that one should really put a coffee cup in here, but we're going to pretend that it's sealed so it won't spill. And the newspaper. And her phone. And we close it up. And it sits very nicely on her hand, even without the tape, so you can have that full effect of her in motion. There are posable Barbies. I think we've certainly in my past reviews, I've talked about the made-to-move Barbies. This ain't one of them. None of her joints are movable. The arms are not going to bend. The legs are not going to bend. This is about as posable as she's going to get, which is okay. Some dolls, you just don't need them to move. But overall, this is a very nice, very sweet execution of a Canadian classic, and it was nice to see Canada be honored this way, since a lot of the Mattel licensing has been European fashion designers, Japanese anime. It was nice to see Canada get a nod this way, and especially with a company that is so iconic to them. And it's a nice Barbie. I mean, let's face it, her face sculpt is pretty, for a Barbie. She's not overdone makeup-wise. She's a blonde. That's Barbie. And it's just nice. It's a nice doll. It's not a Silkstone. It's not a huge collector doll. It's a nice doll that you can that you can collect, but you could also let your kids play with, and they would have fun dressing and redressing her. So if you can still grab her at a reasonable rate, I definitely would, especially if you're a Canadian and you happen to be watching this and you see her at Hudson Bay. I'd grab her. As much as I did grab when it was done many years ago, the Macy's Barbie. And I think and the Anne Klein Barbie. So, for everybody's favorite Midwestern girl, Barbie Millicent Roberts, and everybody's favorite New Yorker, maybe, Barbara, that's it. And I hope you enjoy this review, and I will see you guys soon with some more products from Mattel and Integrity. Take care.